That's it. All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. All praise to Yahweh B'Shem, HaMashiach Yahushai, Kwam Yasha'Allah.
Kwam Yasha'Allah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
This is Elder Barak. We got Yakanan.
Shalom, shalom.
All right, this is Masharai Yasha'Allah, House of David, Hebrew chosen elect. And today's the Most High's High Holy Day, the Shabbat. And as always, we recognize the Most High, Yahweh B'Shem, HaMashiach Yahushai, on the Shabbat. Okay, so we just want to, like the scripture says, give honor to whom honor is due. Give credit to whom credit is due. So Wednesday we had the passing of our brother Chaarawtazahla. Chaarawtazahla was part of the House of David, part of the Masharai Yasha'Allah. He was a brother to all of us. Okay, for Yasha'Allah and Yasha'Allah. And his works speak for itself. So he passed Wednesday. And as always, when someone passes, it's a somber mood, but also you also rejoice in the Most High and Yahushai because they go back, they transition, they go back to the Most High. So it's also rejoicing also, okay? So, but he did leave his works. So his works speak for themselves, for itself. And we're just gonna give credit and honor and as like a memorial for Brother Chaarawtazahla, all right, today in this class. And we're going to go over, it says a time, let's say a time to die. And why is it there is a time to die? We're going to first go to Ecclesiastics in the scriptures. And the scripture says there's a time to be born and there's a time to die, right? And we got to realize that the Most High is the one that determines when your death is going to be, how long you're going to live, what age you're going to live to. Okay, the Most High determines all that. And so Chaarawtazahla was a brother, and he was still rather young in his 50s and late 50s, and that's young. And we know in terms of the age. As far as Israel is concerned, we know when you read the scriptures, we can live to be, in ancient time, we lived to be in our hundreds, right? 200, 300, 400, 500 years old. So Chaarawtazahla was still a young man as far as that is concerned. But the Most High did say 70, which is 70 years of age. So he was still a young brother, but his works speak for themselves, speaks for itself. And he did a lot of work. He's been in the truth over 30 years, did a lot of work. And from the time of 1 West, okay, and from 1 West, 125th Street, up to the House of David, okay, and then he's been in the truth all those years. So you're talking about over 30 years, Chaarawtazahla has been doing work. And so we want to commend this brother and honor this brother for his works. And that's what the Most High teaches us to do. And we got to realize, as we are, through the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, coming more together, trying to form our government, okay, in Yahushai, that we got to recognize that we got to be able to honor our own, right? Give credit to our own. We don't need Esau to try to give us credit and honor our people and so forth. We got to honor our own. And so it's high time for us to begin to do that. Because we are the Most High's chosen. We got to be that example in Yahushai. Okay, we have to do that. Yasha'Allah, we have to do that. We have to have love of brotherhood. Okay? We got to show hospitality and courtesy to our brother. And love to our brethren. Okay, this is what we got to do in these last days, and we got to come on that level. Okay, no more of this competition. You're over there, your camp's over there, my camp's over here. Forget about all that. We got to bring it together now.
That's right.
Okay, as a nation, we got to bring it together. And yes, we can do it as a nation in exile also. We are dispersed throughout the planet Earth, but we can come together and say, look, let's start recognizing ourselves as the nation of Israel, Yasha Allah. Instead of what your camp name is, and that camp over here, this camp over there, let's recognize ourselves as a nation. And so this is what we got to start doing. So now, Yakanan, you're going to start from Ecclesiastes in the Bible, Ecclesiastes 3rd chapter, the 1st verse.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born, and a time to die. A time to plant, a time to pluck up that which is planted.
Okay, so that's it right there. I mean, we don't have to go further. So we understand what the Most High is teaching us here. That there's a time to be born, and there's a time to die. And nobody has control over that. Okay? No man on this earth, if you're in the flesh, you come from the spiritual world into the flesh, you do not have control of when you're born, and you don't have control of when you die. Come? So the Most High puts that within his own power to control when man is born and control when you die. Now, we in the flesh, we want to be able to save all our family members and save everybody, but the Most High said, there's a time to be born and there's a time to die. That's in the Most High's power. We don't have control over that. So as much as we didn't want to see Chaarawtazahla pass away, but the Most High has control. And I'm going to tell you, brothers prayed for him. Brothers were at his house, they prayed for him. We all prayed for him at the summits. If you were at the summits, the last 3 summits, we were praying for him. Chaarawtazahla was at the summits. And he had his illness. He's at the summit. He still made it to the summit. How about that? He was at the Atlanta summit, at the Dallas summit, and at the Raleigh, North Carolina summit. He was at all these summits and still was sick. And I think the Atlanta summit and the Dallas summit, he was teaching the Hebrew. And the brothers who were at those summits, the Marshall Allah summits, y'all see them, y'all were there, y'all see him teaching the Hebrew. He was still sick.
In good spirits too.
Right, he was in good spirits. He was sick, but still teaching the Hebrew. Because that was what the gift that the Most High gave him was the Hebrew. The Paleo Hebrew, he was a master at it. He was a master at that Hebrew. I haven't seen nobody take up that Hebrew like that. Now, I know there's brothers out there, okay, but I seen Chaarawtazahla, he came on another level of mastering the Paleo Hebrew. And he taught it to all Israel. It wasn't just, he was part of the house of David, he didn't just teach to the house of David. It was everybody, all Yasha Allah got that Hebrew from Chaarawtazahla and the books that he wrote. And we're going to show you some of the books that he created and wrote in the Hebrew. Okay, give me Ecclesiastes 4. Let's turn the page, go to the 4th chapter from the 1st verse to the 3rd verse.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4. So I returned and considered all the oppressions that are done under the sun, and behold the tears of such as were oppressed, and they had no comforter. And on the side of their oppressors there was power, but they had no comfort.
Yeah, how about that? So this is Solomon. Solomon saying there's no comforter. The ones who are in power, no comforter. The ones who are poor and downtrodden, no comforter. Because the Most High is bringing death, destruction, and bloodshed. He said all the sinners shall die in their sins. So the Most High is bringing it. That's why when the Most High bring death, destruction, and bloodshed, he bring diseases, he bring pestilences. It affects the ones who are in power. It affects the rich. It affects the ones who call themselves the leaders. And it affects the elite. And it also affects the ones who are downtrodden and poor. See? So the Most High is not, he's just not going to exclude anybody. When he's bringing his prophecies to come to pass, they're going to come to pass on the whole earth.
That's right.
Now the difference is with Israel, the Most High said he's going to save a remnant of our people out of it. But we can still be affected by the diseases, by the catastrophes, and by the prophecies that the Most High is bringing on this earth. We can still be affected by it. Okay? That's why the Most High says, come from among them. come from among the other nations. So the Most High can put a hedge around you and protect you from this. Okay, go ahead, Up.
Verse 2. Wherefore I praise the dead, which are already dead, more than the living, which are yet alive.
See what Solomon said? I praise the dead, which are already dead, more than the living. Why? Because the living has to go through this hell. We're in the condition of hell on this earth. You're better off, like Solomon's saying, you're better off dead. You're away from this evil and away from the condition of hell and destruction and bloodshed that's going to come on the earth. You're away from it. So when I look at, and this gives you the ability to look at, okay, Mosai took Chaarawtazahla, he might have took him away from the evil that's about to come in the earth.
That's actually scripture.
Because a lot of brothers think when someone passes away that the Mosai cursed that, but that's not all the time. It's not a curse all the time that the Mosai take you away from this earth. Sometimes it's a blessing because he's taking you away from the evil. We're going to show you that in the scriptures. It's not always a curse. Okay? Okay, go ahead. Read up the 4th verse. That was it.
Go ahead. Okay. Yea, better is he than both they which have not yet been, who have not seen the evil work.
Have not what?
Have not seen the evil work.
See, the Most High took them away from the evil. Have not seen the evil work. Go ahead.
Better is he that both they which have not yet been, who have not seen the evil work that is done under the sun.
Have not seen the evil work that is done under the sun. So we haven't even come to the great tribulation period yet. We haven't even come, the evil that's going to come, the Most High said it's going to be like such has never been since the earth began. Okay, and the prophecies the Most High is going to bring on this earth have not been since the earth began. We're talking about earthquakes and famines and pestilences. Okay, you're talking about when the Most High bring in the oncoming of the Antichrist and the beast and the false prophet. We haven't seen nothing yet. Some of our people, the Most High, are going to take away just to protect them from that. And that's going to happen. That's going to manifest itself. Okay, that was it?
Again, I considered all travail and every right work, that for this a man is envied of his neighbor. This is also vanity and vexation of spirit.
So vanity and vexation of spirit. And that's what Solomon said. For all is vanity and vexation, especially in this society. All the proud and puffed up mannerisms people have. And you think you somebody. That's why the Most High said, if a man think himself to be something when he is nothing, you deceiveth your own self. You deceive yourself. You ain't nothing. Though you think you somebody. Okay? So that's why always remain humble. Okay? Don't seek so fast to exalt yourself. Remain humble in the Most High, in Yahweh Shai. Then let Yahweh Shai exalt you and give you your position. And I'm going to say, Chaarawtazahla was one of the most humble brothers you would find out.
Yes, indeed.
Okay? I mean, what he did with the Hebrew and everything, one of the most humble brothers that you can find. Okay? And so you're not going to find too many more brothers as humble as Chaarawtazahla. So Chaarawtazahla fit the example of what the Most High want us to read. Because Chaarawtazahla did a lot of great works. And he was giving, and he was charitable. Okay, the brothers of the house of David know how charitable Chaarawtazahla was. Very charitable, man. He gave lots of resources and money, his time and effort, and teaching and works and the Hebrew. Okay, he was on that level. That's what the Most High wants from, and humble. Never puffed himself up. Brothers think because they're leaders of this camp and that camp,